Hi guys, this is Patrick from NoypiGeeks.com, and smartphone displays with an 18:9 aspect ratio has immediately become a trend in the smartphone industry, and Vivo, one of the biggest players in the industry, was quick to adopt. This is the Vivo V7 Plus, and this is our review. The Vivo V7 Plus's design is probably isa sa pinakamaganda niyang character, but not necessarily yung kanyang build. Now, pinuno ng kanyang 18:9 aspect ratio screen yung harap ng device. Dubbed as a full view display, the V7 Plus has a 84.4% screen-to-body aspect ratio. Hence, almost everything you see is the screen. So, for as long as you have a dope wallpaper, you can practically change the device's appearance and customize it to your preference. Yun nga lang, yung V7 Plus is only part metal. The entire hardware is being held by a metal frame, but the back panel is most certainly plastic. The device didn't feel cheap and second-rate during my time with it. However, I do feel like I was cheated considering the device's price tag. Going back to the screen, what we have here is a 5.99-inch HD display with a 1440 by 720 resolution and an 18:9 full view aspect ratio. Ito siguro yung isa sa pinaka-downside ng device na to, dahil for this price tag, we should already be expecting a full HD plus screen. With that said, sharpness isn't really its strongest suit. However, the touchscreen makes perfect for reading as you don't have to scroll much. It also makes gaming and watching movies more immersive. However, since karamihan ng mga videos are shot in 16:9, sa mga ibang videos may mapapansin kayo mga black bars dun sa gilid. Now, meron namang button na nagpa-pop up that allows you to stretch it on the sides. Yun nga lang, medyo makakrap ng konti yung top and bottom frame. And speaking of watching movies, the device is packed with a dedicated hi-fi audio chip. This makes any headphones you plug in sound better. The included earphones deliver decent sound, although not a lot of low end is present. Still, better than the average loudspeaker at the bottom. I did plug in my own headphones, the HyperX Cloud Core, and it did work well. Yun nga lang, gumagana lang siya sa mga ibang native and Google apps. Gumagana rin siya sa Spotify, although hindi siya gumagana sa Netflix. You will know that the hi-fi audio chip is working pag nakita mo yung hi-fi icon sa notification bar. The Vivo V7 Plus is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 chipset, an underwhelming choice for a device at this caliber. Meron siyang octa-core processor, 4GB of RAM, Adreno 506 GPU, and 64GB of expandable storage. The chipset delivered satisfactory performance. Yun nga lang, it could have been better. Browsing through social media apps and Google Chrome showed some very minor and very occasional stutters. Gaming, on the other hand, was decent. Nakapaglaro ako ng mga games like NBA Live and UFC with playable frame rates. Also, the processor handled the interface really well. The V7 Plus runs on Android 7.1.2 Nougat with their own fun TouchOS 3.2 on top. The Vivo V7 Plus brags a 16-megapixel camera at the back and a whopping 24-megapixel one on the front. Clearly, this device really wants everyone to take selfies, just like most devices in the mid-range category. With that said, the V7 Plus indeed can take impressive self-portraits. The details and sharpness are top-notch. The colors are also great with just the right contrast. However, the dynamic range is a bit failing. I also like the front-facing flash on this thing. It beams a soft light so it doesn't look harsh when you snap a photo. And of course, we have the portrait/bokeh mode. And since it doesn't have a dual camera setup, the bokeh feature doesn't work as well. On the other hand, the 16-megapixel primary camera can take decent to good photos. The colors and contrast are good, saturation looks natural, and the sharpness is on point, while the dynamic range is just average. Going back to the front-facing camera, it is the main ingredient on the device's facial recognition security feature. But unlike Face ID, it doesn't have an infrared camera, dot projector, or any other complex sensors. All it uses is the 24-megapixel camera. But despite the hardware limitation, the security feature worked surprisingly well. For as long as your face is within the camera's line of sight, it can instantly unlock it. You don't even have to literally put it up in your face. However, it does struggle in a pitch black room, but if your screen brightness is high enough, the light can reflect in your face, which enables the front camera to see your face. But if facial recognition isn't your thing, or it doesn't work well on some occasion, you can resort to the fingerprint scanner at the back, which works incredibly well and fast. And all of this hardware are powered by a 3225 mAh battery that works well than I have ever expected. During my day-to-day use, the device would still leave me with 40 to 50% of charge before my day ends. That's a day of browsing through social media via 4G LTE and Wi-Fi, streaming music on Spotify, and more. I also ran PCMark's battery test, and it took the device an average of 10 hours and 30 minutes before it reached 20%. For perspective, the previous devices that we have tested had an average score of 7 hours. So, is the Vivo V7 Plus worth the hype? Well, the answer is a hesitant yes. Now, nagustuhan ko tong device na to during my time with it. Yun nga lang tingin ko, there are few things that Vivo should have done right on this one. At ang tinutukoy ko dito, of course, is yung price to features ratio. Vivo could have either provided a better specs for its asking price or lowered the asking price to match what it already has. Pero since out na siya sa market, I think yung pangalawa na lang yung kanilang option. The device has a tall 18:9 screen, good camera and battery performance, and the face recognition feature works really well. But the thing is, those things aren't enough to justify its price tag. If you're thinking of getting the Vivo V7 Plus, you're better off waiting a bit more till the price goes down. Or better yet, look somewhere else. This has been Patrick from NoypiGeeks.com. For a more detailed look about this device, check out our full written review link below. You might also hit the thumbs up button and share this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you still haven't. And lastly, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you for watching.